Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. Now this video is a very exciting video. It's a video that I couldn't wait to make because it's similar to the one that I did last year for 2019, and that did really well and you guys loved it, and it gave you hype and excitement for the year to come for Jurassic World Evolution. So you know how optimistic I am about things. I'm going to put myself out there and say everything that I think will come in 2020 for Jurassic World Evolution. But before I do that, I do urge you to smash that subscribe button. I don't know if by the time you're watching this, but currently I'm on 9.89 thousand subscribers, which is incredible. So 10,000 is going to be a huge deal for me. And obviously on my community section I have a poll going up, and you can also write some other sort of like video ideas that you'd like me to do for 10,000 subscribers, so go ahead and do that. But let's get straight into the video. Nevertheless, it's a good one. I feel like I've come up with a few good ideas, and I've got a whole script written for you guys to listen to. So with 2020 just beginning, taking a look back at 2019, we saw a vast range of amazing DLCs. The Carnivore Dinosaur Pack, Declared Sanctuary, Nasutoceratops, the big return to Jurassic Park, as well as a Herbivore Dinosaur Pack as well. But what can we expect this year? Last year I predicted we would eventually see some sort of an aviary and flying reptiles DLC. I did mention they would be limited, and that also came true. So I don't doubt the fact that some things I say on this list could possibly come true as well. We'll start off with small updates I could see happening in 2020. First off, there's plenty of updates this game could have, and especially small ones. So if I miss any during the time of this recording, please feel free to let me know what ideas you had in mind. Firstly, the main small update I believe we should see in 2020 would be addition or subtraction of paths to buildings. Yes, I understand why we need paths to be attached to buildings, but when we're trying to make our own site beam map, it's hard to have hatcheries placed everywhere without having paths, as they don't work unless they're connected to an entrance of some sort. So hopefully we'll see this taken out. And with this taken out, maybe we could see grazing becoming a thing that counts towards our herbivores food bar. We saw the Brachiosaurus eat from a decorational tree in the Return to Jurassic Park DLC trailer, and we see our quadrupeds eating and grazing from the floor, but sadly it has no interaction with their food meter, making Site B a lot harder to reconstruct. Now, something a little larger but at the same time part of a small update, I hope to see some more customization options for buildings, and maybe dinosaurs, but dinosaur customization is less likely. What I mean by this is that I would love for the similar paintbrush tool when selecting terrain painting to also be there when your building is being placed down. This gives a similar selection like dinosaurs have for their skins, and allow us to change the colour or pattern of the building. This could make the arcade go from a silver blue colour to an orange and black colour. That'll give the game's customization level a lot more in depth. Now sadly that is all I've written down for small updates, but again I understand that there's probably a lot more, so if you have any other ideas for small updates, please feel free to put them down in the comment section down below. Now getting into the big updates, I only see one that I really want. I understand there may be a lot more, again feel free to discuss in the comments, but personally for me, I would love a free big update that will give us a overhaul of new items. Not items we currently have in game, but items such as benches, chairs, plant pots, lampposts and signs. We already have a start of this with the Return to Jurassic Park DLC, where we could put down Gennaro's death toilet, ground lights and multiple dinosaur signs. Sadly, that's only bind to Jurassic Park era builds and not Jurassic World. So having things such as lampposts and the Jurassic World themed signs would be amazing. We already have the models in game. If we look at the objects attached to buildings, we can see plants, signs and benches too, so we know that the models are in the game. Not only that, but the two buildings I look to hold up on hope to see benches in the near future are the bar and the arrival helipad. If you look at the top floor of the bar, it's finally been updated in update 1.12 to allow guests to sit on the tables and chairs at the top level of the building, and around the arrival helipad in the Jurassic Park era you can see guests sitting down. So we know the animation is also there, it's just a matter of adding benches and guests' interactions with them, but I do believe we could see these in 2020. Now I understand these are highly recommended, and I don't doubt the fact that Frontier are definitely looking into it, hence why I did mention about the update 1.12 that allowed guests to finally sit down. So I do believe that holding on hope towards, because of those buildings, towards that, we could see this guest interactions with actual placeable benches in the near future. Now moving on to what most of you guys would love to hear, DLCs. The first DLC I'll talk about can be classed as an update 2, we'll have to wait and see. So firstly, baby dinosaurs and breeding along with a Site B mode. Allowing a Site B mode will open up the possibility for grazing, no need for feeders, and also include the baby dinosaur system and breeding. Although this seems relatively easy to make, I do imagine this could be quite large. I imagine Frontier have attempted things similar to this, however I feel like it doesn't work or is way too limited. I imagine Frontier have attempted things similar to this, however if they feel like it doesn't work or is way too limited, they could drop any further production of it, and I understand why. You'll need to make a fully functioning working growth system and also come up with an idea for breeding. If that's the case, then the Planet Zoo breeding mechanism could be the best way. They'll just spawn in by their mother parent. Now I think I should have written a little bit more about this, I'm not going to lie, because there's so much we can talk about breeding and baby dinosaurs, but because we kind of went overboard of talking about that during the Return to Jurassic Park DLC, I don't think we're going to be talking about much, but you're more than welcome to put in the comments as well. So we have a Dr. Wu DLC, we have a Claire Deering DLC, but surely we must have an Owen Grady Ian Malcolm DLC. I'm leaning towards more of the Owen Grady DLC, as this could be a major DLC that adds storyline and also adds a Jurassic World expansion pack. Now we have the Raptor pack. It will be really cool to load into a built Jurassic World on a new Isla Nublar map, and we have the Raptors running loose, the Indominus Rex running about, and also Rexy, which will make it very similar to the end part of the movie. Although this story could be a regression to the game as it takes place before Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it will still be a cool mission to play. From Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, there was this one mission where we had to save the president from rampaging dinosaurs. Although that mission was challenging for 8-year-old me, I still loved it and I hope we get something similar. As for unlocks, we could unlock a few new Jurassic World dinosaurs, and with this recent addition of the Pteranodon, maybe even unlock the Dimorphodon to add to our Jurassic World aviaries. Pachyrhinosaurus and Microceratus could be the possible other options. Also, what could lead into the Owen Grady / Jurassic World expansion pack DLC is the introduction of the Mosasaur tank. With Return to Jurassic Park adding in the aviary and Pteranodon, could we see a very similar addition being added in a similar way? I think it makes perfect sense to add the Mosasaur tank and the Mosasaurus itself for a separate storyline DLC, where one of our missions is to get the tank down and breed 2 Mosasaurs with a high rating. I think this would cool down everyone's nerves about the aquatic DLC, and then later down the line they could add further aquatic reptiles and hopefully the same with area reptiles. So when I was on about dropping the Mosasaurs in with 2 of them and a high rating, that's very similar to a mission, spoiler alert, from the Return to Jurassic Park where we had to make, I think, 400 rating with Pteranodons in the aviary. So we could see something similar if we were to have a Mosasaur tank. We have to release 2 Mosasaurs and try to get the rating past 250. And finally, something I'm going to touch on a little bit, as I have a script written for this video already, is a possibility of a Spinosaurus DLC dinosaur pack. This will add 3 more Spinosaurids and make use of those fish feeders even more. Ever since update 1.8 we've had these fish feeders, and I had a script written about the Spinosaurus DLC but never really released it, so if you like a video on that please let me know in the comment section down below. But I think having the fish feeder for only 4 dinosaurs, one is a hybrid, I think it's a little bit worthless. I would love to see a couple more Spinosaurus added to make more use of this feeder. And that's it, those are my current predictions. Now I know that they won't all come true, and I know there could be much more. Like we had 2 big DLCs in 2019 and we could see 2 again in 2020, but I can't think of that second one. Please feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. So that was everything I have written off of my script. Now reading it, I do believe that these sort of DLCs and updates could happen. Now I wasn't as in depth as I was in 2019, but since this is more of a prediction video, I do believe that this sort of prediction makes more sense. Looking at the evidence we have for the benches and looking at the evidence we have for Claire Deering, Dr. Wu and hopefully a Owen Grady, it makes sense and I would love to see something like that. Now, with Ian Malcolm pretty much being everywhere in every single one of these DLCs, besides the Claire Sanctuary one, I don't think he was in that one, I do believe that maybe even an Ian Malcolm DLC could be highly plausible, especially with his influence in Return to Jurassic Park. I would love to see Ian Malcolm get back at it once more and sort of guide us through. I'm not sure what it could be, that's why I feel like an Owen Grady DLC would make much more entire sense, and I would love to see that. So please don't be afraid to go down in the comment section down below and let me know what ideas you have for DLCs. Now, the two big ones I am thinking of are Jurassic World expansion pack and a Owen Grady DLC. Now, I don't quite know how this is going to work. I do believe there could be one DLC in their own, simply because everybody has been asking for an Owen Grady DLC, and yes, I understand the actor is completely different. The voice actor isn't Chris Pratt, so we'll have to look at how that's going to work, or we might have to suck it up like we did for Return to Jurassic Park and deal with the voice actors. If you don't know what I mean by Return to Jurassic Park, basically John Hammond was not voiced by Richard Attenborough, I think it is, sadly, because he passed away recently. I think it was a few years ago actually, so he can't really come back from the dead and then voice over, so he had to get an impersonator or a voice actor to sort of replicate his voice. And that's what they're doing with Chris Pratt, simply because Chris Pratt is a high actor. He probably charges high rates, and he's already working on loads of Marvel films, probably Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He's working on Jurassic World 3, so it's a busy time for him. So I don't think he has time to sort of voice video games, but that's highly understandable. But at the same time, I would love to see Chris Pratt come just for this DLC. Like, how incredible would that be? But that's my little bit of speculation over and done with. The main things I do hope to see is some sort of an aquatic creature and a Dimorphodon. I'm not fussed about whatever else we get, because I feel like this game is kind of coming to completion now. It's feeling like an actual game. Obviously, there could be a little bit more added, as you guys will probably pick up in your mind right now. Let's just think of the most thing that comes in your head that you've been complaining about for a long time. But this game does actually feel like it's coming to its completion, which is very nice, and it's good because in 2019, when I made a prediction video, loads of things were coming into my mind. I was like, oh, I've got to do this. But because we have scenery now, we have objects we can place down, we have guests sitting down, we have an aviary, we have flying reptiles. I don't doubt the fact that marine reptiles and a tank, for instance, could come soon. So we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully we do get a Dimorphodon, because it feels left out. So having some sort of Jurassic World sort of DLC does kind of make sense. So we can include the Dimorphodon, maybe Microceratus, and we can look on the DPG what other dinosaurs were on Jurassic World but we never got to see in the movie. But in the meantime, I do believe that's all I've got time for you guys today. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button. It will be greatly appreciated. And let me know what other DLCs, updates, and anything else you want for Jurassic World Evolution in the comment section down below. And if you haven't yet done so, and that subscribe button is still red, please turn it grey, as that will help me to 10,000 subscribers. And it will honestly mean so much. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. It's been Swerve, and peace out.